Thanks for enduring the downtime. We're almost going to get into this next series. I'm not sure if they're finished vetoes or not, but Scarlett and jjakji are both like actively online and not AFK, so that's a good sign, I guess. We also had Perfect World hit us up with 100 bits less than 5 minutes ago. Sorry we missed it, dude. Thank you so much. But yeah, super late in the evening, really early in the morning, however you want to perceive it. That's about where we're at. Last series is going to be this final best of 3 between Scarlett and jjakji. We will not be able to cast anything after this as ESL will be taking over, but that's okay. I don't mind an earlier night off at all. In fact,
and there's another cast, 9 hours.
Yeah, it'll give us time to do the co-op and then nap. I think will be the the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully the game will get going soon. Of course, give a small shout out to Unsteady joining us in chat. We've hosted him a couple times at this point, so hopefully some of you know who he is. He'll be joining us for the Overwatch finals we'll be doing this coming week. I am just so not impressed with the way Overwatch has gone, but I'm hoping and looking forward to the finals because when we do actually have the games to cast, it's been pretty fun.
Yes, casting Overwatch is fun, even if it is kind of a
the organizational part of Overwatch, I'm just gonna say, is like a real hot mess. That's not compared to anything, just subjectively, Overwatch is a hot mess. To give you guys some amazing context to this, in the 3 weeks we've put it on hiatus, like a quarter of our players have had their teams disband on us.
Yeah. Yep.
So we went from having a round of 8 to having a round of 4 because we just literally don't have the players anymore. Anyways, getting into the game. Echo.
Finally!
Oh, what is jjakji's like Cthulhu monster? Dang.
Like a Cthulhu monster.
Look at that portrait.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
what are they called again? That's not the Zelnaga, right? It was something else.
No, it's like the blank one or something, right? Like it's a giant Cthulhu monster that's like, hey, Kerrigan, now you're one of us.
I will say Stukov's revenge was probably my favorite part of that final campaign bit. Although Stukov himself kind of made no sense to bring back, but that's okay, whatever.
Yeah, there's a ton. It's all such a questionable. But
don't worry, the StarCraft 2 story is like one of the best stories ever. It's well written.
The dialogue's amazing,
and
you know.
Only matched by its plot.
Yeah,
actually,
exactly. No, matched by its romance.
Well, actually, I'm going to back this up because I know we're making sarcastic fun, but I actually did enjoy the dialogue just in terms of like the voice actors are great for StarCraft. The writing was not so much, but the voice actors nailed it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
They nailed what they could.
Alright, getting into game number 1 before I fall apart. Quick shout outs to Perfect World. Thank you for the 6-month resub. Says halfway to my part 2. StarCraft 2 still alive. Today is a good day. You're damn right it is, because we're casting some awesome folks. And in the bottom right, we haven't seen him for a while, but it is the Red Terran jjakji.
In the top left is the pink Zerg. She is Scarlet.
Whoa, did you just say she? As a girl gamer?
The fuck are you doing?
I don't know. It's just I always mess up the pronoun with Scarlet, and I always feel bad about it because she is really the only she we get to cast ever. I wish there were more, to be honest, but I feel guilty every time I throw in that accidental he because it's like, no disrespect, just 999 times out of 1,000, I'm saying he is one of the players.
I got to cast Livy B recently, so.
Did you?
I did,
our
yeah.
thing. When did you cast Livy B? WTF?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for not calling me a she, and referring to me as like some sort of Nancy boy during the cast for my terrible playstylings.
That I did not do. You're welcome.
Okay, well, for jjakji and Scarlet, we see the 3 racks opener. Again, it's not just TY that's doing it. It's pretty much every Terran right now. And I'm really unsure if just the maps, despite what we objectively believe, are just more conducive to Reapers, or if they really just don't want to deal with anything without having the Reapers as their opening. I'm perfectly cool and fine with the idea of like a 3 racks leading into like a fast 3 CC build. It's proven to be working so far. I'm just wondering what's really sealed the deal to make this more viable now than it was in the previous patch.
have no idea, man. Like, I really can't see how it's any better, because it's not like the units have not been changed. So you get, you know, that out of the way right off the bat. But the maps have, and if the maps are all suddenly fantastic for Reapers, then you would understand it. But they're not, actually. They're mediocre. Sometimes at best for Reapers.
So, I mean, I agree with you, but every player we've been casting doesn't. So I don't know where to put the
yeah,
the weight on this one.
Again, like I mentioned it last series, that a bunch of pro gamers are saying that the Terran, almost like when you're playing mech, like the best way to play mech, obviously, is to get this like lead in the beginning, so that you don't have any of these low army problem to deal with, you know, as you're rising your tank count and whatnot. Some people have been saying that's kind of the way that Terran has to play now. That they have to get this early damage done, have to actually pressure the Zerg, or they're going to get overwhelmed because Hydras have been buffed and Balings have been buffed. But I don't know. I really didn't think that would mean the 3-Rax Reaper would come back in such a powerful move. But it does cause a reaction. I mean, in fact, Scarlet is probably the first time we've seen someone react with a Roach Warren. Which sounds odd because that's usually the way to deal with the 3-Rax Reaper. But now with the new maps, everyone else has been dealing with it fine with Queens and Lings.
Scarlet especially has been the master of Queens for a while, even winning some professional games with what appears to be trolley Queen builds, so I always love watching her and her Queen usage.
Well, known for a creep spread as well as generally her muta play, which means the Roach Warren, like, again, is questionable. Like, it feels like an over-defense, first of all, but even if it wasn't, it's like, oh, Scarlet's gonna go Roaches? Usually this is, like, the second or third thing she wants to do. Just play a Roach style.
Actually, it's funny about the Muse, because obviously we just saw the game with Rogue not too long ago, but I am actually really excited to see if she does go Mutas, what her control is going to look like. Scarlet is living in Korea. I want to make that clear to everybody. She's back in Korea, so there's not going to be this weird like cop-out of, well, you know, she's playing from west coast of North America or anything like that. Like, she's on even footing with a lot of these folks.
The new cop-out is that Jake's, you know, knowing her or something. I'm sure someone will think of a reason. Jake's heavy breathing next to her is really distracting.
Why are you using his first name? It's really weird.
I don't know. I guess I get used to it. Everyone else does it. And No Regrets is a dumb name. Should name himself No Regrets. Anyway.
Well, maybe he does have regrets, but just not one.
No regrets. What? Anyway. The Ravagers will deal with the Reapers. So again, like, that's usually the response. That was the response to the Rex Reapers last patch. Was go for Ravagers, get the distance on the Reapers, and keep the Reapers low, or just away from your bases and your drones. But it's not a necessity on these maps. Like, they're not that powerful on these maps. And far more often, yeah, the Terrans are going to go for 3cc after them. If she had made nothing but Lings, maybe she even denies this third for like a second. It's questionable, because of course we even saw Hyun try and reach out the middle of Overgrowth and got his Lings destroyed, but I still feel like Roach has put you in a very defensive position.
Well, the Ravagers, you know, have a little bit of extra firepower, which is nice, but unfortunately they are kind of weak. 120 health, not going to stand up long to jjakji's Stim Marine push that is timing out pretty close to his 1-1. It's not quite here yet, but it might be by the time he gets to the top of that ramp. Scans clear up a lot of the creep Scarlet that had just put down as well. That's going to suck.
Yeah, jjakji did push before Medivacs, which is always going to be questionable, even with Stim. So now the Medivacs are coming in. He should have a lot of... I'm actually surprised he's going to push him back here, pulling back here. Maybe afraid of Ling's Run would go down and Balings would roll in, which isn't a bad fear. Scarlet is looking for that opportunity. But his Medivacs would have been enough, I think, to actually push forward. Especially with a couple of Reaper Grenades, which can't be undervalued. You know, a couple of those, the Roaches spread apart, they're easily sniped. Lings don't get us around. I guess the biggest thing about it. jjakji does pull back and gives Scarlet some breathing room.
I do like that Scarlet's taking the downtime to not just sit back and spread creep and do nothing else, but, you know, open up some of the rocks and the pathways in the middle of the map, making it a little bit easier for engagements later, but still has to be very tentative and careful. While her creep spread and Overlord spread's nice, even if you see those Medivacs coming, it's still going to be hard to respond to them with what she has. Once Baneling's in, more importantly, Baneling's speed kicks in, she'll have a lot better tools to respond to those drops with.
Yeah. Well, I do like that she's going into Mutilating Bling. You know, the Roaches were an opener, and that's fine. You know, Hyun did that technically too. He defended against the combat shield push. I just thought that like it was surprising that she went so early into Roach to deal with the Reapers. Drop's not going to be a headache, but I guess the Mutas are on. Well, they should be on the way out, but I guess she doesn't have enough money for them. So drops are going to get some damage done, because even when she gets muted, it's going to be 5 of them. Nope, not even. She's on upgrades.
Quickly dissipating, makes it a better engagement area for jjakji. He does distract over here on the left side too. Drop should be able to pick up and get away. There's no fungal growth to hold this in spot, so that's a little bit scary.
Yeah, he did boost in, so it was a little scary. Clearly get something done here. But 4 Muta is finally on the way. An Overlord drop as well off to the left middle. The 4th base, I suppose, of jjakji. He's going to go into the natural. Could be a lot of damage done.
Oh, he's not going to see that either. That sucks. This he's like right there too.
Awkward.
Well, whether Scarlett gets amazing Baneling hits or not, we'll see in a moment. Right side of the map's being policed by the army. Middle side getting pushed back once again, but with no Mutalisks and nothing to shoot out these medevacs. Kind of just a bit of a freebie. She might still get a cancel on this base, which will be nice. In fact, there we go. Cancels goes down. But the Mutas are going to find that those medevacs have unloaded, so not really a way to engage on top without that army. Baneling's drop beside the natural. Not many workers killed for Scarlet, unfortunately. Only an 8-3 tally total. Not a lot of workers dead in general this game.
No, it's not that great. She also isn't on a 4th base quite yet, which isn't so much a problem if this 4th base was allowed to get up without any, problem whatsoever, but it is not going to be allowed to get up, because jjakji's army is right there. There's not enough creep spread covering the 4th base either that she can push forward to chase him off, and I think what she's going to try and do is get a surround on him, which is usually a very good move to do, but again, the creep spread doesn't extend that far, and I don't think she has that many units. She's significantly down in her army supply. 40 is actually a little bit too much. If they're like 20, that's usually okay, especially with the, creep and a good surround. But now 50? Scarlett's just kind of losing this game. And it didn't really start off that great for her. Like, it's hard to say that the Roaches and Ravagers were, like, the reason everything is the way it is right now. But I do think it contributed. Like, I don't think that's the way that she ideally would have had to have opened. I guess it makes sense. Scarlet did have a lot of problems with 3 Raxes in the last map pool. So...
Ooh, nice pickup. Full medevac goes down the top right.
Yeah, that was nice. It was, a little bit. And she does get back up in supply, now only down 20, but she's on her way to Imposition Pit, and the army's right here. The Widowmines on the front lines, however. Really not ideal.
There's some biles were landing on some of them, just not enough of them landed, unfortunately. Scarlet's army supply is where it needs to be, but with the Mutalists across the map, it's not nearly enough to match what jjakji's brought to her side of the field. I mean, she seriously, this is more like a 60 supply army coming into jjakji's full might.
jjakji did go maybe a little too much to creep. Okay, no, he saves enough.
She's got no backup to that. There's not another round of links coming. They're only just now making, and they're going to be coming from 3 different locations. That's not good. The Mutalists are racing back home. They might be able to save this. There's not that many Marines, but it's going to cost her so much to finally push this back. And even then, that base going down was pretty nasty.
Yeah, that might just be the killing move here. The drop's a little questionable because units are back now, but reinforcements coming through the middle. Psych, dropping back again.
I mean, that was a nice little bit of momentum for Scarlet to gain, driving these medevacs back for the moment, but here's that main push, and jjakji just cannot be stopped. Banelings aren't getting a chance to hatch. Ravagers aren't doing much of anything. Not even picking off the Widowmines anymore. Scarlet takes a big hit to the Lings, and that's, so devastating.
Yeah, it was already bad. It was bad anyway. Mutas are last hope, and they're going to get shredded by these Marines. Widowmine Cursed Biles.
I really liked what she tried to do with the Mutas as this attack commenced, to go across the map and do kind of like what we saw Rogue doing earlier, but just not working because she didn't have the same defense ready to go. Widowmine takes some of the Marines, but most of all the ground support, so that's pretty bad for said Mutas. Scarlet's control is really nice, though, watching her pull back the weak Mutas, but still Widowmine's popping off, damage being dealt. jjakji, Scarlet, they equalized the army.
Yeah, well, jjakji was definitely pushing too hard to end the game. And he realizes that now as he pulls back his reinforcements. But 3-3 is about to finish up. Scarlet has been, 2 of her bases have been killed. She's down to 47 drones. Yeah, the fear of ultras on the way out is a little bit scary for jjakji, who did scout the hive, but it's not going to be a lot of ultras. Something you can deal with as his fourth base gets saturated. Oh,
rip.
Okay.
GG. I think we may have been approaching game territory anyways, but yeah, GG. jjakji will take game number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, that being said, I'm not sure if it's... Actually, I don't know. Do they do vetoes? I guess they do vetoes, huh? All the way down to 3.
I thought so, but the very first series of the day, Mara just told that other guy to pick. So.
Well, that may have also just been like Mara saying, like, I don't care, I'm going to win this. It's beneath me to pick a map.
I don't know.
But okay, I guess we'll pop off to a commercial break. We'll get the lobby up, guys. Don't go anywhere. We're back soon. Alright folks, hopping directly into game. Thank you for watching that break. Game number 2 underway. In the top right side of the map, we got the red Terran player up 1-0 currently. It's jjakji.
In the bottom left is the pink Zerg. She is Scarlet.
So this particular match is important for a lot of different reasons, but one of them is that this leads to the qualifying series. The winner of the next best of 3 will be going to IEM. There's a little bit of a gimme though for Scarlet, where she's apparently already playing WCA or something on those same days, so I think this may have been one of those things where for her to win this may have been taking precedent over the other events, but if she doesn't win it, she does have another pretty big tournament she can still attend and play.
Yeah. So, yeah, don't cry for her too hard. But she certainly had a problem against the 3-axe Reaper. She didn't take any direct damage, which might look good initially, but indirect damage is pretty substantial. I think it also, again, is just not the way that she likes to be forced to play. Some players, they'll go for roaches, they'll defend against the Reapers, and then they'll just, like, they're fine with that, but I don't think Scarlet's ever really been that person.
Scarlet very particularly doesn't like Reapers and Adepts. There's 2 units that I think are just, like, the first thing to tilt her. That being said, though, she might not have to worry about this game. jjakji only goes for the 1 barracks initially, command center, then another one. So this is not a build that's going to cause nearly as much headache for Scarlet.
Yeah, I kind of wish he would go for more of the Rax builds, not just because that's what we've been seeing from all the Terrans, seems to be the thing to do nowadays, but also because Scarlet, I think, overreacted so much. She might fix that anyway in the next game, and jjakji doesn't get nearly the same response, but we'll never know. He does go for pretty quick second barrack, so I guess it might just be the old 2-1-1 build. Really quite standard stuff. And that should be something Scarlet is well versed against, as long as she scouts, that's what it is.
Well, Reaper going to be causing trouble for a little bit. The nice thing is one Reaper doesn't actually have enough damage to kill much, so even the Ling's just being kept alive in the back. She did go for that fast third hatchery, so I mean this really has not set her off in any way. She's perfectly fine for this game.
Yeah. And did you like that choice? So what has she scouted so far besides that command center? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. She may be able to see the amount of Marines, or like the lack of anything else really. Like no Hellions are gonna pop out, no you know, Banshee's gonna show itself. So she might know that it's 2-1-1, but to be prepared to that 5-minute mark is usually easy peasy if you've been playing this new patch where a lot of Terrans are really playing quite weird. They're not necessarily playing mech, which is what everyone thought they would do, but they're still playing weird. Maybe it's not as such a given defense. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Got it.
Nailed it. Alright, well, the Reaper dies. Doesn't get much more scouting behind this. jjakji attacked his own command center there for a second, I guess? Full health buildings are not cool. No,
they're not. No. Well, the stim is on the way. Medivacs will be out shortly, and this is gonna, you know, it's gonna be a powerful attack if she's not prepared. And again, she has not quite scouted what it is, but I think this Marine count might have told her. A little worrying to see them push out like that for both sides. Like Scarlet might be overthinking it, and then of course jjakji could lose them without their medivacs to help them out, but not be the case. Now the thing for her to scout would be the follow-up. It is going to be double engineering bay, so third command center soon to follow.
Quick note for chat. Urafridifibrider is asking who Kim Duk-young is on the bracket. We had the same question the other day, and I've had it again tonight, and it is, in fact, Billowy, who's playing against Sue up there.
Yep.
Oh, there's a missing tumor between these bases. There we go. 5 queens, those should be able to... I'd say push this back fairly easily. She's got more queens coming out as well.
Yeah, it should. Like, the timing on our lings is, like, a little bit scary, but they should be out in time, because Joshy still needs to clear up this creep. I wonder what of mine could cause problems if she mishandles her lings. I don't think that should happen.
May have been better at going off on the Overlord. Actually, I don't know. She may have missed an opportunity. But, yeah, I think she was trying to bait that in afterwards. That's really cool to see. One of mine is going to go off on the queens by the looks of it. Kills 1 queen, backs away, but this was not significant damage for jjakji. Scarlett, in the meantime, just going to need a moment or two to get detection up. Spore Crawler moves over.
Yep. And now there's that big round of drones. She does feel pretty safe. It's not entirely safe once you push that back, assuming they saved all the Marines and medevacs, but it is like the knowledge that you have enough to deal with it right now. Might, be able to snipe a couple of queens, which is annoying for her to deal with, or an Overlord, as he did pair up the next medevac, so there was 1 queen, almost 2.
There's no Overlord on the way, so that supply block's pretty nasty for Scarlet. Sitting on 800 minerals right now, unable to make anything. That being said, she's got 1-1 finishing up shortly, and I really don't think she's in any immediate danger, but dang, that was a nasty Overlord snipe.
Yeah. Okay, so now the problem, I guess, for Scarlet, besides being supply blocked, is the creep spread is not advancing to the right side, so it's going to take the 4th base to the left. Creep spread's not being touched on the left side, so it should be able to get kind of far out as soon as the queen's going to abandon their post here. But jjakji's really hitting this place hard, and a 4th medevac comes in. And Scarlet still doesn't have any banelings. Like, just Ling Queen defense will hold on for a while, but eventually you're going to need banelings. She might have underdefended. She might have lost the game.
I actually think so. GG.
Yep. Wow.
In a very surprisingly quick 2-0, jjakji will knock Scarlet out of the bracket, out of the qualifier, and he'll move on to his qualifying round. We sadly will not be able to cast that, though, because all the round of 8 matches are going to be reserved for the ESL stream, so hope you guys enjoyed what you got to see today. We'll say our goodbyes first, then do the ad to end the stream. I guess do a little bit backwards, since timing doesn't permit otherwise. I said we'd do co-op, but I'm actually suddenly not feeling it so hot all of a sudden, guys, so maybe we'll do that after the Top Dogs cast, or maybe another day. But, we'll wrap things up here. So quick shout outs to our channel sponsors, keeping us afloat. Even though we do get the glory of casting IEM and some other events from time to time, it's really nice to have Chairs for Gaming, Corsair, G2A, and Yord have our backs. Hopefully you guys will check out all of them. I don't know if anyone still has like the quote-unquote Cyber Mondays deal still going, because it is now officially Tuesday, but they're all worth checking out because they had a lot of really good deals yesterday. We'll be back, though, in about 6.5 hours for the Top Dogs cast, so I hope you guys will join us for that. That round of 8 is going to be super sick. Again, just remind you guys, it's going to be TLO versus Kelazur, Euthermo versus Welmu, Laser versus Nurchio, and Beyond versus Marine Lord. A surprising amount of mirror matchups, but okay, still good games either way. Of course, I think, so I guess, you'll be at the PC Bong for that, I guess, then, yeah?
Yeah.
So are you, I don't know, you've been doing it a couple times. Are you planning to regularly stream, I guess, beforehand?
Yeah, I guess. It's just convenient getting all set up and there, not at 3 in the morning.
Well, part of the sell was then to advertise. If you guys want a little bit of extra Zombie Grub action, you can check her out usually an hour before most casts over on her Twitch channel, which is...
twitch.tv/zombiegrub.
Nice. And of course, you can follow her on her YouTube and Twitter, and you can follow me on my Twitter and all that good stuff to stay up to date with news and what's going on. Follow the BaseTradeTV channel. Consider subscribing. All of that goodness for support. But guys, like I said, we're just going to cut it short a little bit here, and we'll see you in a few hours with the Top Dogs cast. So hopefully you enjoy the rest of the ESL stream. We will not be hosting them today. I'll be hosting somebody else instead, so you'll have to go over to the ESL stream itself to watch the rest of the matches. I don't know who we're going to host yet, but give them some love. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in a few hours. Bye.
Bye.